Why do we sit here being silent, watching our leaders turn into tyrants? Have they forgotten which side they're fighting for? Checks and balances set aside and rule of laws, youths and ours, and Constitution openly ignored. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Is it time for right and left to join a greater cause? Man, I'm not okay. The rich claim to be victimized just to attack the marginalized. Is 1% really worth more than all the sick and poor? Always preaching about fellowship while planning their dictatorship. Now we've seen how all of this plays out before. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call. Man, I'm not okay. Ever wonder all the mystery? Why they whitewash our history? Keep dividing is their plan. All in all, such a scam. Algorithm very sly, only used to spread the lies. Politicians know well, hate is simple to upsell. Man, I'm not okay. Think we are being played. Time for you and I to join our country's call.
We are not okay. America is not okay, and we all know that. Former Congressman Joe Walsh, this is the Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Let's figure out how to get okay together. Oh, come on now. Tuesday, I have to start the show like this. Fuck Tucker Carlson. The more I've listened to his podcast last night in his safe little podcast studio, sitting there having a conversation with his brother Buckley, the more I just want to say, fuck you, Tucker Carlson. That ain't an apology. There's nothing genuine about what you said. We got to be really clear-eyed about what's going on with MAGA right now, about what's going on my former side right now. All of these supposed Trump MAGA voices out there turning on Trump, taking shots at Trump, upset about this or that. We got to be really clear-eyed about what they're doing and what it means. And this is really fucking personal with me, because 8 years ago I stood in the public square and I stood up and I pointed a finger at Donald Trump and I said, I'm done with him. I'm done with him. And I said 8 years ago, I'm going to do everything in my power to help defeat Trump and my former political party. And when I did that, I lost everything. So this is personal with me. When I hear MAGA voices like Megyn Kelly or Tucker Carlson or Rogan or any of these guys trying to maybe separate a little bit from Donald Trump, it ain't real. It ain't genuine. Show me the headline, Keith, if you've got it. Tucker Carlson, last night on his podcast, he said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I misled people. I apologize for endorsing and campaigning for Donald Trump. He said he feels horrible. Thanks, Keith. He feels horrible that he supported Trump. He is implicated, he said, in everything Trump does now. He and his brother said, we're the reason all this Trump shit is happening now. Tucker Carlson said, I'll be tormented for a long time. that I ever supported Donald Trump. He apologized for supporting Donald Trump last night. But see, here's the thing. There's a part of me, and this is the hope not fear part of me, the social contract part of me, that when I heard Tucker Carlson last night publicly on his own podcast with his brother, but publicly apologize for supporting Trump. When I heard him say he felt ashamed for what he's done, supporting Trump. When I heard him say he's sorry for misleading people, there was a part of me, and still a very tiny part of me, that wants to say, good, Tucker Carlson. Good on you. But I don't believe you, Tucker Carlson. I don't believe you. I don't believe this is a genuine apology, Tucker Carlson. You got to prove it. You see, all of these MAGA voices supposedly turning on Trump, I say this as a former MAGA voice, it's not good enough for them to say, I'm sorry. For them to say, I'm done with Trump. That's not good enough. That's just the start. And if I were in Tucker Carlson's studio with him last night instead of his brother, this is exactly what I would have said. Good on you, but this is just the start. Now you got to walk the walk. You got to prove to me, because I don't believe you, Tucker. If this is genuine, if you really apologize for supporting Trump and you feel ashamed, man, for supporting him and misleading people, you got to now prove it. You have to prove this is genuine. This is on you, Tucker Carlson, to prove that you are indeed really sorry for supporting Trump, that you genuinely do believe that everything he's doing right now is bad. You got to prove it, man. You got to do, Tucker, what I did 8 years ago when I stood in the public square and said, I'm done with him. I'm sorry I ever supported him. You got to do what I did. You got to go everywhere, Tucker Carlson. You got to prove it. You got to go everywhere. You got to get out of your little friendly studio talking to your friendly brother. You got to get out of your studio. You got to go everywhere and apologize. And you got to go everywhere and explain yourself. You got to go to every media outlet, every podcast, friendly and unfriendly. You got to go to CNN, MS Now. You got to go everywhere and apologize and explain yourself. You got to do that day after day, week after week. I did that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. That's walking the walk. You have to go everywhere and apologize and explain yourself, Tucker. And by the way, Megyn Kelly, all the rest of you. But again, that's just the start of it, Tucker. To prove that what he said last night is genuine, I'm sorry that I supported him. I'm sorry I had anything to do with him. Then he's got to do the work. See, here's the rub. Then he's got to do the work to defeat Trump and my former party. It's not just good enough to say you're sorry and Trump's bad. Now you have to work your ass off every single day to defeat Trump and his party. That's what I had to do every day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, do everything I can do. Once I said I oppose him, he's bad, then it's up to me to back those words up and work my ass off to defeat that guy that I said is so bad. Tucker, same on you. You apologize. You said Trump's bad. Now you got to get out there and defeat Trump and the Republican Party. You got to get out there and campaign your ass off this year in the midterms to make sure Trump and Republicans don't win. You see what I'm saying, Tucker Carlson, is, and it ain't easy. I'm still doing it. I've had to do it for 8 years. I'm still apologizing. I've had to apologize for 8 years. I'm still explaining myself. I've had to explain myself for 8 years, and I'm still working my ass off 8 years later to try to help defeat Trump and my former political party. You gotta, Tucker, walk the walk. At one level, what Tucker Carlson tried to do last night is just talking the talk. That ain't fucking good enough. If this apology is genuine, and everything you said last night is genuine, you got to walk the walk. And you got to do the work to defeat Trump and this Republican Party. Otherwise, what you said last night, Tucker Carlson, is just fake. It's just self-interested. And I'm talking to Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson apologized last night. Got a lot of news. But we're seeing, right? We're seeing a number of MAGA voices taking shots at Trump, trying to separate themselves a little bit from Trump. That's not good enough. That's not real. That's not genuine. I've said it before. When an average guy out there or an average gal out there, just a regular American, when a regular American out there wakes up, sees the light, and publicly turns on Trump and says they're done with Trump, that's genuine. Because Trump voters, just regular people, when they come out and say, I'm done with Trump, they don't have podcasts. They don't have audiences. They don't care about ratings. They don't care about getting elected. They're just on their own saying, I'm done with him. That's genuine. And that's why I embrace regular people, voters, Trump voters who turn on him. But every time one of these Tucker Carlsons or Marjorie Taylor Greens or Megyn Kelly's or Joe Rogan's or any of them try to turn on Trump, man, I don't believe it. I'm skeptical. You got to prove it. Trust but verify, Ronald Reagan said. We should all be that way. And by the way, it's not easy. You got to walk the walk day after day if you really mean it. Look, what's going on here is this, and I'm asked this a lot because I come from MAGA. None of these people are really turning on Trump. What all of these MAGA voices, these MAGA influencers, these MAGA politicians, these MAGA media people are doing when they take shots at Trump or pick at Trump on the Epstein files or the war or Trump going after the Pope, whatever they do, they're not really separating themselves from Trump. What they're doing is trying to position themselves to be a big MAGA voice, to stay a big MAGA voice, to be a relevant MAGA voice when Trump is no longer president. That's all this is. Understand? Megyn Kelly, still MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene, still MAGA. Tucker Carlson, do you want to know what else they talked about last night? Him and his brother. They talked about how anti-vax they still are. They talked about the 2020 election was stolen. They talked about how the Democrats are the real bad, evil ones. And they got into a bunch of conspiracy theories. These people are still MAGA. There's a big difference. I was a MAGA voice and I left MAGA. All of these folks taking shots at Trump, do you understand? They're still MAGA. They're still MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene still believes the 2020 election was stolen. They're still MAGA. They're not leaving MAGA. They're positioning themselves within MAGA to be still a MAGA rock star when Trump leaves office. And when you listen to Tucker Carlson last night, that's clearly the sense you get. I moved when I first read about it. I said, "Good on you, Tucker, but I don't believe you. You got to prove yourself. You got to do what I did for these past 8 years." But then the more I listened to what he was saying last night, it became clear to me that this is all just a self-interested positioning thing for him. And when I listened to him at the end of his cozy little podcast with his also former, his MAGA, still MAGA brother Buckley, when I listened to what he said at the end, it was kind of the giveaway. Near the end of his podcast last night, Tucker Carlson said, and I quote, "You tell me what this sounds like. You tell me how genuine his apology is." At the end of his podcast yesterday, Tucker Carlson said the following, quote, "I've always liked Trump. I feel sorry for him, as I do for all slaves. Trump's hemmed in by other forces. He can't make his own decisions. It's awful to watch." A direct quote from Tucker. "I've always liked Trump, but I feel sorry for him because he's like a slave. He doesn't have his own agency. He's not in control. He's not in charge. He's like a slave. There are forces who've penned him in. There are other forces making his decisions." Not at one level, and this is what a lot of these MAGA folk do, is it's not Trump's fault, man. He's getting bad advice. He's got bad people around him. He's got other people calling the shots. He's got other people controlling him, right? Listen to what they say. They are very careful at one level not to take a full-on frontal shot at Trump. Even Tucker last night, in his supposed genuine apology, he didn't put the blame on Trump. He put the blame on other powerful forces controlling Trump. Megyn Kelly does this every single day when she criticizes Trump. It's not his fault he's got bad people. It's not his fault. Why is he getting such bad advice? I mean, my God, why are other people convincing Trump? Why did other people convince Trump to go to war? Megyn Kelly said. Not poor Donald Trump's fault. They're not taking a direct shot at Trump, again, because they want to be a big MAGA voice. They want to stay a big, relevant MAGA voice. And to do that, you can't take on Trump directly. But then this is a giveaway with Tucker, because Tucker is an anti-Semite. Tucker's anti-Semitism over the last year or two has been self-evident. So when Tucker talks about Donald Trump is hemmed in by other forces, he's not making his own decisions, I know exactly what Tucker Carlson's saying. Tucker Carlson's saying Israel and the Jews, those Jews, they're controlling Trump. Israel's controlling Trump. These Jewish forces, these weird secret Jewish forces are controlling Trump. They convinced him to go to war. They convinced him to be a neocon, all of this. That's what Tucker said last night. And again, it makes perfect sense because Tucker's an anti-Semite. Tucker despises Israel, and he's embraced anti-Semitic ideas and people. No. So the more I've listened, I don't believe Tucker Carlson one bit. That was all bullshit. He's just positioning himself. Gives him a chance to take another shot at Israel and the Jews. And you know what? I believe this. I'll continue to say this until it's not true. I think Tucker Carlson's running for president in 2028. I think Tucker Carlson's going to run for the Republican nomination in 2028. I think this is part of his calculations and part of his positioning. He and Marjorie are fighting to be the true MAGA. The true MAGA. America first, baby. No wars, baby. Leave Israel alone, baby. Israel bad, baby. Tucker's positioning himself, not only just to stay relevant, I think, to run for president. So I end where I began with that segment. Fuck you, Tucker Carlson. That's a fake, self-interested apology. I want to show you this headline. Carolyn Levitt was on with Hannity last night. Show me that headline, Keith. Right, she's on with Carolyn Levitt, Trump's spokeswoman, on with Hannity last night. Hannity, who made a decision last week that I get down on my knees and I bow in worship to Donald Trump. I'm no longer a Catholic. My church is Trumpism. Hannity, who I guess left the Catholic Church last week out of utter fealty to Donald Trump. Hannity last week chose Trump over his own religious faith. Attaboy, Sean. Carolyn Levitt's on with him last night, and what she said, many of you will laugh at. What she said is utterly farcical. What she said is beyond funny. What she said is just, damn it, it's just untrue. She said, and her and Hannity kept batting this back and forth, like she just doesn't understand why the media doesn't believe Trump with the things he says. She just doesn't understand why after 10 years, the media doesn't believe that when Donald Trump says he's going to do something, he's going to do something. And I just don't understand, Carolyn Levitt said, why the media, after all these years, still doesn't believe what Trump says. I don't have enough time in a whole year's worth of shows to just itemize every single Donald Trump lie. Put that aside. He lies as he breathes. Carolyn Levitt, why does the media still question what he says? Because he lies as he breathes. We are in this horrible situation, this war, where as we speak right now, as it's been the last 5 to 6 weeks, Iranian leadership is more believable than the president of the United States. Hell, Iranian state media is more believable than the president of the United States. So why doesn't the media believe still what Trump says? Because Trump's a pathological liar. Second point is why Carolyn Levitt just took great umbrage at when Trump lays down a threat. Trump always backs it up. When Trump says he's going to do something, he does something. utterly untrue. There are whole memes now, Taco, all of them, whole memes now about Trump chickening out, about Trump backing down. He's done this his whole entire life. I mean, my God, 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump said he was going to wipe out an entire civilization, and he didn't. But here's my point. Yeah, Trump's a pathological liar. Yeah, Trump's a chicken shit. And he always backs down from his threats. My point is this. This is what the Fox News audience hears every single day and every single night. Like we talk about living in different worlds. When it comes to the war, when it comes to all the crazy, dishonest shit Donald Trump says every day, we've won, we've almost won, we're winning again, we're going to win in 2 weeks, we've killed them, we've obliterated, we've decimated them, we still have a long way to go, I'm sending troops. Every fucking dishonest, crazy, mad thing Trump says, the Fox News audience hears none of it. Just a reminder about how siloed we all are, but how particularly siloed the MAGA base is. Because this is not just Fox News. The vast majority of MAGA influencers are still lockstep with Trump. And so MAGA voters out there, Trump voters out there, last night they're watching Hannity and right? Trump always backs up what he says. Trump never lies. This is the kind of stuff they hear day after day, week after week. It's such a tough bubble to help get people out of. But I'm not going to stop trying. Hell, I'm not going to stop trying to get all of us out of our bubbles, which is why we launched hopenotfearproject.org, hopenotfearproject.org. Go to that website, check it out. Every 2 weeks, I'm going somewhere in the country and I'm putting people in a room who profoundly disagree, and we're having conversations so we can help get people out of their bubbles. hopenotfearproject.org. Quick reminder about Paxos. Paxos is out there, paxos.app. Paxos.app, it's out there. It's our tool to lawfully, legally, and practically, thanks, Keith, help immigrants and citizens fight back against what ICE is doing. Go to paxos.app. There it is right there. Check it out. You check it out. It's for free. And then share it. Spread it around. Lots of people are using this tool right now, a Know Your Rights tool. You want to shoot me an email, do, please, about anything. The Social Contract with joewalsh@gmail.com. That's my email. It's all one word, The Social Contract with joewalsh@gmail.com. I hope you have the best Tuesday you can have. Thanks. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, follow, and share The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple, Spotify. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to The Social Contract on Substack. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.